busy times, and especially with the COVID and everything that's going on, it's, you've got to take some extraordinary measures to be able to make it here today. But thank you very much. Also glad to see our partners from the Self-Defense Force here today. Thank you, Arigato gozaimasu, for coming. Sergeant Major, you want to come here and assist me in this first part? And then Pat, what I'd like to do is ask you to come up. This is, we don't want to take the formality away from this portion, but we share a bit of history, right? I believe I was there when he was told that he was taking command of this brigade. I don't think I knew I was coming here as U.S. Army Japan. We had served in Korea together, and certainly felt like combat because it was kind of like combat because it was a very tumultuous year between 2017 to 2018, where every weekend it seemed like we had a provocation. And so I was the Deputy Commanding General for 8th Army, the ground force that's responsible for a series of missions down there, and then Pat obviously was working at U.S. Forces Korea for John Brooks, and he was handling the integration of air missile defense and all that stuff for that mission. It seemed like every weekend we were called in due to some kind of missile shoot or Kim Jong-un getting ready to fire a missile. So we would be in these worldwide conferences, with key leaders from the U.S., talking through the actions. And it was a very exciting time, but it was very, very tough times as well to be able to kind of live through that. And then he and I, we were actually in combat. We commissioned to actually conduct 2 resupplies, into the site where we saw thousands of or hundreds of protesters and thousands of Korean National Police deployed to make that mission successful. So even before coming here, I just had a great appreciation for the kind of caliber that this officer is, and I was very, very excited when I found out that I was coming here and having the opportunity to work with Pat. It seems almost insurmountable when we got here that we have to stand up as intermediate headquarters that hadn't been here before, right? To fill that gap between our tactical firing units to support WABC. And it was a pretty tall task because you pretty much felt it on nothing, right? He had nothing. He didn't even have, I don't even think he was given, besides an overarching order that I'm sure reads something like, go out and do great things and make stuff happen. I don't think there was an ounce of anything that was there in terms of organization, structure, standing operating procedures and all that stuff. But I think, thank God, we got the right leader that was selected for that position. I don't think anybody, regardless how good they are, could have done that mission. But I think Pat was the right choice for that. So without any further ado, I would like to go ahead and publish the word.
Attention to order. The Legion of Merit is presented to Colonel Patrick M. Costello, 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, 94th Army Air Missile Defense Command, for exceptionally meritorious service while serving as the commander for the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, 94th Army Air Missile Defense Command, from 3 October 2018 to 10 July 2020. Colonel Costello's leadership and dedication to duty contributed immeasurably to the combat readiness and mission success of the command. His outstanding performance of duty is in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and exemplifies the very best of our Army. Colonel Costello's superior contribution to the defense of the nation reflects great credit upon him, this command, the United States Army. By order of the Secretary of the Army, this 10th day of July 2020, signed Paul J. LaCameron, General, U.S. Army, Commanding. United States Army Japan hereby bestows the Order of the Bushido to Colonel Patrick M. Costello for emulating the 8 virtues of Bushido. righteousness, courage, benevolence, respect, sincerity, honor, loyalty, and self-control, while serving with prodigious distinction in the land of the rising sun. It has been our great honor and pleasure to have you on our elite team of warriors. The soldiers, families, and civilians of the United States Army Japan and the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force will forever remain in your debt as we say, sayonara, to an outstanding warrior, leader, and citizen.
All right, give her a round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now honor Command Sergeant Major Sartain for his leadership and mentorship to the soldiers, civilians of the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade and the United States Army Japan Command, and for the commitment to their families.
Okay, I'm actually pretty sad to see Sergeant Major Sartain leaving. Although I've never told him this, I have told Sergeant Major Beeson on many occasions how just the amount of admiration and respect I have for Sergeant Major Sartain, because he's kind of my kind of Sergeant Major. You know, if I had the ability to pick him to replace Scott Beeson, that's what I would do, because I have such tremendous respect for how he is as a leader. Because in addition to being able to support everything that the boss wanted to do, he was also a soldier sergeant major. When you need to know what the pulse of the force is down in Okinawa, you can assure that he had been there, had done his work, and be able to provide you sound advice. He doesn't speak a whole lot, at least in front of me and in front of these large group that we have. He doesn't say a few things, but I tell you what, when he speaks, you better be listening, because this quiet professional truly punches above his weight. And I think the Army is a great organization, right? It's a great organization because guess what? He's been selected to serve at the next level, so he's going to go and work for General Mahler at the next level. It's really an opportunity for great leadership like this to be able to influence more things and to be able to shape policies across the formations that they get to serve at the next level. So I'm sorry to see him go. But at the same time, I think it's for the benefit of our Army that you would go and be able to make a greater impact. And I don't have any more words to say besides the fact that I truly believe that you will continue to serve and continue to move up the chain there in the Army and continue to make a big difference. And you just know that this is where home is, and you can always reach out to this organization. If there's anything we can ever do for you, but again, thank you very much on behalf of myself, Command Sergeant Major Beeson, our soldiers and SEALs and officers, and let's go and publish the order.
Attention to orders. The Legion of Merit is presented to Command Sergeant Major Neil H. Sartain, 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, 94th Army Air Missile Defense Command, for exceptionally meritorious service while serving as a Brigade Command Sergeant Major for the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, 94th Army Air Missile Defense Command from 10 December 2018 to 10 July 2020. Command Sergeant Major Sartain's leadership and dedication to duty contributed immeasurably to the readiness and mission success of the brigade. His outstanding performance of duty is in keeping with the finest traditions of military service and exemplifies the very best of our Army. Command Sergeant Major Sartain's superior contribution to the defense of the nation reflects great credit upon him, this command, and the United States Army. By order of the Secretary of the Army, this 10th day of July 2020, signed Paul J. LaCamera, General, USA Army Commanding. United States Army Japan hereby bestows the Order of the Bushido to Command Sergeant Major Neil H. Sartain for emulating the 8 virtues of Bushido: righteousness, courage, benevolence, respect, sincerity, honor, loyalty, and self-control, while serving with prodigious distinction in the land of the rising sun. It has been our great honor and pleasure to have you on our elite team of warriors. The soldiers, families, and civilians of U.S. Army Japan and the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force will forever remain in your debt as we say sayonara to an outstanding warrior, leader, and citizen who exemplifies the spirit of Ichidan. Presented this 10th day of July, 2020, signed Viet X Loong, Major General, USA, Commanding. At this time, we will recognize Mrs. Sartain for her outstanding service to the soldiers, civilians, and family members of the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade and United States Army Japan Command.
Yeah, so, with Paula, again, small token of appreciation for all that you've done, not only for your family, but also for the good. I think when you first got here on board, just a tad bit behind the Costellos there, but we're able to jump right into the position there and be just really good advocate for 38 and this community as a whole. There are a lot of things that Paula does that's probably not reflected anywhere. You've been kind of involved with the youth program there for a little while, for about 12 years, is that correct?
The CDC.
CDC, yeah. And in that capacity, she serves almost like as a surrogate mom for some of the kids there. And again, people contribute in many different ways, but in addition to our great soldier, I think she's also was a pillar of the community in that she's impacted so many lives at that level. That's probably unbeknownst to a lot of folks, but I just want to be able to highlight all that. And Paula, we wish you the best of luck as you move back to Hawaii and be able to help your husband serve at that next level. But on behalf of the soldiers and civilians, officers, and Sergeant Major and myself, we would like to present you with a small token of our appreciation. Okay?
The Meritorious Public Service Medal is awarded to Mrs. Paula Sartain. Mrs. Paula Sartain distinguished herself as a volunteer to the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade and the Camp Zama community from December 2018 to July 2020. Mrs. Sartain's dedication and commitment greatly enhanced the quality of life for the soldiers, civilians, and their families. Her service to the nation is in keeping with the highest traditions of public service and reflects great credit upon her, the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, the United States Army Japan, and the United States Army. Signed, Viet X Loong, Major General, USA, Commanding. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, before the next presentation, we would like to mention on 30 June 2020, Lieutenant General Itsutsu, Commander, Air Defense Command, Japan Air Self-Defense Force, presented the Defense Cooperation Award, Letter of Appreciation, and plaque to Colonel Patrick M. Costello, Commander of the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, for his tenure here in Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome Major General Miyamoto and Warrant Officer Ono. At this time, Major General Miyamoto would like to present Colonel Costello with a letter of appreciation, Defense Cooperation Award, and a gift from the JGSDF Air Defense School of Excellence for his dedication and commitment to the mission.
Since you switched the command of
Where's the middle?
Defense Artillery Brigade in October 2018, you have endeavored to strengthen the relationship with the Japan Ground Defense Force with your extensive insight and profound experience. And you have contributed to the development of Japan-United States defense operation and enhanced the friendship between our two nations. In particular, you have contributed directly to developing the JDSDF U.S. Army Air Defense Artillery Partnership through cooperation between the JDSDF ADA schools and U.S. Army ADA units, such as the training of the JDSDF ADA school staff and functional officers course students to increase their knowledge about the doctrine and the weapon systems of the U.S. Army Air Defense Artillery. The JDSDF ADA school will continue to further strengthen its partnership with the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade to develop the Japan-US ADA partnership. We are confident that your achievement, as well as your sincere and passionate personality, will be inscribed in our hearts for a long time as a foundation of the U.S.-Japan friendship. On your reading, we hereby acknowledge your distinguished contribution to the Japan Ground Defense Force and express our sincere appreciation with the presentation of the Defense Operation Award. Major General Miyamoto, Commandant Air Defense School, Japan Ground Defense Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Warrant Officer Ono would like to present Command Sergeant Major Sartain with a gift from the JGSDF Air Defense School of Excellence for his dedication and commitment to the mission. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Costello and Command Sergeant Major will now present Major General Miyamoto and Warrant Officer Ono with a gift from the brigade for their support to the Pacific Guardians.
So this is just a small token of our appreciation for the partnership, the relationship, and the friendship that we've developed since starting to work with the Air Defense School here in Japan. It's my hope that this relationship will continue with Colonel Dalton and the future leaders, NCOs, and soldiers from the 38th ADA Brigade. But we want to present you this miniature set of colors that we hope that you find a place of honor to place this in your headquarters.
Good morning, Major General Luong, Mrs. Luong, Command Sergeant Major Beeson, Major General Kakihara, Warrant Officer Kurogi, Major General Miyamoto, Warrant Officer Ono, community leaders, honored guests, members and friends of the 38th Air Defense Artillery, family members, and those watching virtually. Welcome to the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade's Change of Command and Relinquishment of Responsibility ceremony. Today's ceremony is in honor of the departing commander, Colonel Patrick M. Costello, and the incoming commander, Colonel Matthew W. Dalton, as well as the relinquishment of responsibility by Command Sergeant Major Neil H. Sartain. The reviewing officer for today's event is Major General Viet X. Luong, Commanding General of the United States Army, Japan. For over 100 years, the 38th Air Defense Artillery has held a rich history within the United States Army, taking part in major conflicts spanning across 3 Army branches. The 8th Brigade formed initially as the Coastal Artillery Brigade in August of 1918 and served during World War I, supporting 3 subordinate units from Brest, France. Upon returning home 28 February 1919, the unit was demobilized and recognized for its service with the World War I streamer with inscription. The brigade officially reactivated on 10 February 1941 and deployed in the European theater in support of the 3rd Army at Avranches on 1 September 1943. The unit was reorganized and redesignated as Headquarters and Headquarters Battery 38th Anti-Aircraft Artillery Brigade, and was responsible for defensive actions while awaiting the full operational capacity of the 3rd Army. The unit received campaign streamers with inscriptions for Normandy and North France, 1944, Rhineland and Ardennes, Alsace, 1944 to 1945, and Central Europe, 1946. The 38th remained in Germany following the end of the war until 30 June 1946, when it was inactivated. The unit activated again on 14 March 1951 during the Korean War. Although the unit had no participation in the direct activities of the war, the occupants transferred to the 1st Guided Missile Groups of the Army until its inactivation on 11 May 1953. The brigade received the spark of life again when it was redesignated on 20 March 1961 as Headquarters and Headquarters Battery 38th Artillery Brigade, and reactivated 5 days later in the Republic of Korea. While stationed in Korea, the unit was under the operational control of the United States Air Force, stationed at Osan Air Base. The brigade redesignated one more time to Headquarters and Headquarters Battery 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade on 15 March 1972. The unit continued to serve under the Air Force Command until its inactivation on 31 July 1981, and received the Air Force Outstanding Unit Award ex post facto on 18 March 1982. Headquarters and Headquarters Battery 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade reactivated October 2018 on Sagami General Depot, Japan, with the mission of supporting the joint air and missile defense of the Army United States Indo-Pacific Command Area of Responsibility. Colonel Patrick M. Costello assumed command of the 38th Air Defense Artillery on the 16th of October 2018. His next assignment will be Headquarters Department of the Army, G357, Damo Fires. Colonel Costello is joined today by his wife Rachel, 2 sons, Jude and Evan, and daughter Isla. At this time, we would like to recognize Mrs. Costello with a bouquet of fully bloomed red roses and his children with gifts. Red is the color of the heart that reflects the loving concern and support that the Costello family has shown our soldiers, their families, and civilian staff. Mrs. Costello, Jude, Evan, and Isla, thank you for your unwavering commitment to the 38th Air Defense Artillery and Camp Zama community family. Colonel Matthew W. Dalton comes to the 38th Air Defense Artillery family from the 94th Army Air and Missile Defense Command. Colonel Dalton is joined by his wife Bree and daughters Abigail, Jane, and Natalie. At this time, we would like to recognize Mrs. Dalton and daughters with yellow roses and white flowers as tokens of appreciation, welcoming them to the 38th Air Defense Artillery family.
Command Sergeant Major Neil H. Sartain assumed responsibility of the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade on 10 December 2018. Command Sergeant Major Sartain's next assignment will be the Command Sergeant Major of the 94th Army Air and Missile Defense Command. Command Sergeant Major Sartain is joined by his wife, Paula. At this time, we would like to recognize Ms. Sartain with a bouquet of fully bloomed red roses for her loving concern and support that she has shown our soldiers, their families, and civilian staff. Mrs. Sartain, thank you for your unwavering commitment to the 38th Air Defense Artillery and Camp Zama community. A complete biography for Colonel Costello, Colonel Dalton, and Command Sergeant Major Sartain can be found in today's program or on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Mark A. Johnston and remain standing for the positioning of the official party, the presentation of honors, and the playing of the national anthems.
Let us pray. O God, our Creator, Sustainer, and Redeemer, we thank you for this beautiful day. I thank you for the opportunity to serve in Japan along with these hardworking, kind, intelligent, and compassionate people. May Japan and the United States of America continue to receive a generous outpouring of your gracious spirit as we work together for peace in this part of your world. May the spirit of peace and brotherhood always be uppermost in our minds as we work together to ensure peace and safety for our nations, the Pacific region, and the nations of the world. Lord, it is with mixed emotions that we say farewell to Colonel Costello and Command Sergeant Major Sartain. While I know they are grateful to be moving to new challenges, we are truly sad to see them go. Thank you for their hard work, their compassion, their drive, and their sincere and inspiring leadership. Rarely have I worked with a command team with the situational awareness, cultural sensitivity, and creativity I've experienced here. Their hard work and dedication to the task before us is evident in the physical structure of the buildings, in the policies and procedures now in place, and especially by the respect this unit has in this community, in Japan, and across the Department of Defense. I've never worked with a commander who so effortlessly understood our mission and seamlessly incorporated his ideas strategically, operationally, and tactically. I thank you for Sergeant Major Sartain's spirit of calm professionalism and his sense of humor. NCOs like him are truly the backbone of the U.S. Army. We pray that your providence go before them and their families, and that you prepare the way for them in their new assignments. May you prosper their families and give to them your peace and protection. As Colonel Dalton takes the reins of the 38th, we ask that you give to him the wisdom, the ability to listen, and the freedom from the minutiae of command that will attempt to wear him down. Give to him patience, resilience, and determination to accomplish the task set before him. Bless him and his family as they adjust to life in this beautiful place. We ask that you be with our families both here in Japan and in the United States. We ask that you grant to our leaders in both nations the ability to act in accordance with what is wise and beneficial for all. We ask that your shield of protection be with our brothers and sisters in harm's way in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and elsewhere around the world, and that you bring them home safely to their families. We long for that day, O Lord, when swords will be beaten into plowshares and men will study war no more. But until that day comes, we ask that you give to us the tenacity, the determination, the strength of character and body to stand against tyranny and oppression as we work for truth and justice in this your world. We ask all these things in your holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, now standing before you is the official party for today's ceremony. Please be seated. The change of command is a simple, traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The passing of the colors from the old to the new commander is significant in many ways. The passing of the colors represent the assumption of mission by the new commander, and it also represents the transfer of personnel, equipment, morale, and esprit de corps of the unit. Historically, the colors of an organization have been the focal point or guidon for an entire organization to follow. In battle, the colors traditionally remained at the side of the commander and were carried forward even if the commander fell. The soldiers of a unit may perish, but the colors live on forever. The colors represent not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The custodian of the colors is a command sergeant major, as they are the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and the principal advisor to the commander. As the ceremony begins, Command Sergeant Major Sartain passes the colors to Colonel Costello for the last time, relinquishing responsibility as a senior enlisted advisor. Colonel Costello then passes the colors to Major General Luong, relinquishing his command responsibility and authority. As Major General Luong passes the colors and all that they represent to Colonel Dalton, he assumes responsibility of the command. Colonel Dalton will then pass the colors to the Operations Sergeant Major Ruprecht, to care for until the arrival of the incoming Command Sergeant Major. By authority of Army Regulations 600-20, paragraph 1-5, the undersigned assumes command of the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, Sagami General Depot, Japan, effective 10 July 2020. Signed, Matthew W. Dalton, Colonel, Air Defense, Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, Major General Viet X Luong.
I took my time knowing the excitement that I'm inciting by just being up here. Yes, technology. Ohayo gozaimasu. Honjitsu wa goshiseki arigatou gozaimasu. Major General Miyamoto, Major General Kakihara, General Haller, who's watching from afar, our distinguished command sergeant majors and warrant officers, other distinguished guests, soldiers and families of the 38th Air Defense Brigade. Good morning and thank you for making the time to be here with us this morning. So it's my privilege to be presiding over this change of command ceremony on behalf of the 94 AAMD and BG Haller. First off, I want to take this opportunity to recognize our families who are here. So welcome to the Costello family, the Daltons, and Mrs. Sartain. As you are fully aware, we're gathered here to bid farewell to a couple stalwart leaders, but we also taken this opportunity to welcome an exceptional leader award. That said, this is also a great opportunity for me to recognize one of the U.S. Army's stellar organizations, the 38th Air Defense Brigade, the Pacific Guardians, and the tremendous contribution that this unit had done for the defense of Japan and the security of a free and open Indo-Pacific. So about 2 years ago, this brigade stood up. Sure seems like it was yesterday. I remember visiting Pat at Sagami Depot. All he inherited was an empty building, no furniture, no equipment, no comms. He was literally working out of a fairly dark closet because that's where the comm was, the only source of communication that he had. And although I'm a constant optimist, in my estimation at that point, the challenges seemed insurmountable. Then just a short month later, I was surprised when Pat told me he was near initial operating capability, which is IOC. And soon after that, he told me, sir, we're ready to execute Yamasakura 77, a tall task I had given Pat when we first started this journey. And although I realized that this command could not have achieved that milestone without our great soldiers and NCOs, deep down in my heart, I also knew that we could not have gotten there without Pat's premier leadership. The brigade's achievements over the past 2 years have been phenomenal. The 38th ADA Brigade not only excelled as an intermediate ADA headquarters we needed here in Japan, but also contributed immeasurably to the integration of IAMD across Japan while strengthening the U.S.-Japan alliance. Since the reactivation of the brigade, the Pacific Guardians have provided unrivaled ballistic missile defense around the clock to the country of Japan and the Indo-PACOM area of operations. In addition, the brigade successfully established and fostered strong bilateral relationships with our Japanese partners, enhancing both integration and interoperability of ground-based assets in the process. As a senior air defender of Japan, Pat was vital in leveraging every available exercise to mature the brigade and subordinate staffs in the planning and execution of bilateral ballistic missile defense. So in short, he was the driving force behind maturing the joint kill chain architecture in Japan and the establishment of a joint ballistic missile defense stakeholders work group to address current emerging threats and setting the conditions for the establishment of the structure and associated authorities in Japan to allow us to fully prosecute the wide range of our IAMD mission. But with all that said, Pat would be the first one to tell you that he and the brigade could not have accomplished all this without his great Ranger buddy, Command Sergeant Major Neil Sartain. In addition to supporting all the command's readiness initiatives, Sergeant Major Sartain was also instrumental in fostering lasting relationships between the 38th and the 5th Air Force NCO Corps. Moreover, he also established a great relationship with the Guam National Guard chain of responsibility, enabling it to support our soldiers from the THAAD battery stationed there. And then finally, as far as professionalizing the NCO Corps, he facilitated an annual event, bilateral that is, with 23 NCOs from across the JGSDF. These examples encapsulated only a portion of his efforts, which not only cultivated an organization fully invested in the development of its own core of leaders, but that of our alliance partners as well. So Sergeant Major, thank you for everything you've done for this great organization. The other two people here who have also been instrumental to the success of the brigade are Rachel Costello and Paula Sartain. When they came into this organization, as I stated before during the award ceremony, they came in as a command team. There's no choice to opt out of that. So for the spouses, they have to be all in from the start. In addition to raising wonderful families, these Spartan matriarchs were the pillars of strength behind their family readiness groups and all of our initiatives to take care of our soldiers and our families. So ladies, this command and our nation owe you a debt of gratitude. So on behalf of the troopers and families, thank you for your contributions and sacrifices. As we say goodbye to the Costellos and the Sartains, we welcome Colonel Matthew Dalton, Miss Bree, and the entire family to our team here at USAJ. I will tell you, Matthew was a G3 down there in the 94th, and so he's ready. He knows this mission well. He knows our challenges well. He has a great portfolio, and I'm very confident that he's going to be able to take all the great things that Pat had done and started to make our organization even better. So one thing to note, the Daltons also have extensive combat experience as a family, having completed a harrowing 14-day RoR while combating COVID-19. So to the soldiers and leaders of the 38th Air Defense Brigade, you will continue to be in great hands. So in closing, I want to thank you for coming. I know that we still have some challenges with the unrest and the COVID situation at home. Again, I told you I was an optimist. I'm confident that our great nation will get through it and emerge even stronger. So do your job in order to support our country. God bless Japan. God bless the United States of America. Arigato gozaimashita. Ichidan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Patrick M. Costello.
Prepared to use my outside voice. Major General and Mrs. Luong, Command Sergeant Major Beeson, Major General Kakihara, Warrant Officer Kurogi, Major General Miyamoto and Warrant Officer Ono, and Brigadier General Haller back in Hawaii, other distinguished guests, and most importantly, the soldiers and MLCs of the Pacific Guardian Brigade. Thank you all for being here today. Matt, I was thinking last night that I was just going to do an about face when Sergeant Major handed me the colors this morning and leave you at the altar. But then my phone started ringing early this morning, and I decided that that probably wasn't a good idea. So I've talked a lot in the last few days and expressed a lot of my personal thanks to those around me, and I'm going to keep this short for that reason, and I know Sergeant Major came here with 10 pages of written notes that he wants to talk about. So, Major General Luong, thank you, sir, for hosting today's ceremony. It truly means a lot. Just about 3 years ago, we had dinner with General McConville at Osan Air Base when I was notified that I was coming here. And 2 years ago, we sat in this room and uncased the colors that are in front of you now. I'm not sure where the time's gone. It feels like just a few days ago that we participated in the first USRJ run after the reactivation of the brigade headquarters with a formation of 5 soldiers. Those 5 quickly grew into more than 100, and they collectively have accomplished so much. Commanding this brigade has been the most humbling and rewarding experience of my career. Surrounded by phenomenal leaders, soldiers, and families spread across Honshu, Okinawa, Guam, and Hawaii, I stood in awe day after day of the sacrifice, dedication, and professionalism of the entire team. The soldiers that I've had the privilege to serve are some of the best our Army has to offer. They themselves created the systems, the processes, and organization that led this headquarters from nothing to a fully functional Air Defense Brigade headquarters capable of fully supporting our mission for the mutual defense of Japan. There are far too many people and organizations to thank, but I have to try to mention just a few. To all of my bosses, Lieutenant General Schneider, Major General Luong, Major General Gainey, Brigadier General Morrissey, and now Brigadier General Haller, thank you all for your patience, mentorship, and investment in both me over the years and the organization. To the entire USRJ, 94th, AAMDC, and U.S. Army Garrison Japan teams, thank you all for welcoming us with open arms and enabling everything that our soldiers have accomplished. Japan is definitely the overseas assignment of choice, and it's because of you. To our Japan Self-Defense Force partners and friends, specifically to the Air Self-Defense Force Air Defense Command and Ground Self-Defense Force Air Defense Center of Excellence, thank you for your patience, friendship, willingness to work together, education that you provided me personally, and the opportunities that await our relationship in the future, and I'm honored to have my friend Koji here today from 1st Air Defense Missile Group as well. To the local communities near all of our soldiers, and especially to our master labor contractor force that keeps the brigade running, thank you. Your dedication and kindness is second to none. You have redefined the word commitment, and it's been a true honor working with you. To the soldiers of the 38th ADA Brigade, thank you for investing and trusting in me as a leader, and thank you for your investment to the unit's success. To the entire brigade staff, you deserve 100% of the credit. You remain the driving force behind everything that happens. To my battle buddy, Command Sergeant Major Neil Sartain and his wife Paula, I waited a long 10 months for the Army to identify who was going to be the brigade CSM, and they got it right, finally. We go back a long ways from our days together in the 101st in Iraq, and we've gone through driving through the desert to driving through every alley between here and Narita together. I've always been blessed with tremendous NCOs throughout my career, and you are hands down the best. I can think of no better leader to serve as the next CSM of the 94th AAMDC. We're going to miss you greatly, but I'm happy knowing that the soldiers here are going to continue to remain under your steadfast leadership for the next few years. And last but not least, to my beautiful wife, Rachel, and 3 of the most resilient kids I know. Thank you for keeping me sane and grounded. Coming home to you every night made me forget about some of the long days in the office. Rachel, I don't know how you fit 27 hours into a 24-hour day, taking care of me, the unit, our family, and anything else under the sun. But thank you, I love you all so much. To Matt and Bree Dalton, Abigail, Jane, and Natalie, I'm jealous of where you're sitting right now. You have 2 exciting years in front of you, and working with the Army's best and having the privilege of doing it from Japan. I have no doubt that this is going to be the best time in your Army careers, and I wish you nothing but the best, both professionally and personally. I can think of no better person to lead this tremendous organization. Arigato gozaimasu, by valor and power, first line of defense, Ichidan.
Ladies and gentlemen, Command Sergeant Major Neil H. Sartain.
Okay, no worries. Colonel Costello was absolutely wrong. My speech is not 10 pages long. 16, 17, 18, but it just will be a few minutes. So, hey, good morning and welcome to today's ceremony. I'd like to start by thanking Major General Long, Mr. Long, Sergeant Major Beeson. Thank you for your guidance and your mentorship during our time here. It's truly been appreciated, and thank you for your attendance and hosting today's ceremony. I'd like to thank Brigadier General Holler and the Sea Dragon team from 94th AAMDC in Hawaii for watching as we virtually broadcast today's ceremony. I'd also like to thank all of our other distinguished guests and our host nation partners, United States Army, Japan, the Garrison team, and friends and family of the 38th ADA Brigade. Thank you for attending both physically and virtually, and as well as thanks for the support during the last 20 months. Today's ceremony, although not being conducted as we normally would conduct such a ceremony, is still another extremely important event in the growing history of this newly reactivated brigade headquarters. Today we build upon the traditions established by those before us, celebrate the completion of an era of leadership, and excite everyone about the future as we welcome a new brigade commander. Today is not necessarily about individuals as much as we like to believe, but more about the history of the organization. Today is a celebration of successes already achieved and those which lie ahead. Today is about the colors past, which represent every single soldier currently serving and that has served in this fantastic brigade. This has been, without a doubt, the most exciting and rewarding assignment in my 26-plus years in the Army. It's had its ups and downs, its frustrations and jubilations, but it's been like no other. There's been no template whatsoever. And we've done a lot solely off what we felt was right for the command, the organization as a whole, and the future of the brigade. The term building an airplane while in flight truly describes our past 20 months. But it's been the most memorable 20 months of my career. I have many to thank, but due to time, and I had to cut 7 or 8 pages off of my speech, I'll recognize just a few. So first, my battle buddy, Colonel Patrick Costello. Sir, it has truly been an honor serving with you again. After almost 20 years since those days at Fort Campbell and the sands in Iraq, this has been a delightful experience. Your leadership has got this brigade headquarters absolutely going in the right direction. Thank you for your guidance and leadership and allowing me to be the command sergeant major I thought I needed to be for the brigade headquarters. Thanks, Ms. Rachel and the kiddos, for everything you've done and all of your support. Thanks for welcoming myself, Paula, and Miss Natty, and just welcoming us into the family. We will not forget our time here due to your hospitality and friendship, and best wishes to you all in your next assignment. Best wishes go out to Colonel Matt Dalton and his family as he now takes the reins and begins his journey as Pacific Guardian 6. Sir, we wish the best for you, the entire Dalton family, and I look forward to visiting the brigade headquarters in the future and seeing its success. You will truly enjoy the sights, the sushi, and the ramen. Just ask Miss Paula. So I'd like to recognize Miss Paula. For those that don't know, she's worked in the U.S. Army Child Development Centers for the past decade. Each and every day, she's literally raised our soldiers' children while they are off defending freedom. She changes their diapers, reads their books, feeds and burps them, takes them out for recess, calms them when they're upset, and records their firsts, like their first words, their first steps. Miss Paula is an absolute angel. Thank you for taking care of me, our own family, and while taking care of everybody else's. Your service to our country allows our soldiers to march on without worry of their children left behind, and thank you for all you do. Lastly, and just as important, I'd like to recognize and thank the soldiers of the 38th ADA Brigade for their professionalism and dedication to excellence over the past 20 months. Every single one of you should be applauded for your efforts and determination while reactivating this historic brigade headquarters. We've charged you with creating processes and policies, establishing new relationships, and you've done it all without question, without hesitation, and with the greatest of professionalism. This day is about you and all you've achieved and all that you will achieve in the future. I will remember you all, your dedication to this brigade, and your country. So I close in saying this has been a long time coming, but it's truly a bittersweet day for me and Miss Paula. Being selected for our next assignment back in January, February-ish, initially having a departure date in April and having it change 5 times in 3 months, it's been quite an adventure. Yet as much as we look forward to our next assignment in paradise, we're truly going to miss everything here. The Sartains have grown to love Japan and all it has to offer. But now it's time to close this chapter out and start on the one that lies before us. Thanks again for all for coming today, watching out in the land of the internet, but most important, thanks to the soldiers of the 38th ADA Brigade for being the greatest soldiers that they are. I'm so proud of all they've done and even more excited to watch what they're going to do in the future. By valor and power, first line of defense, Ichidan, Pacific Guardian 7 is off the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 38th Air Defense Artillery Brigade, Colonel Matthew W. Dalton.
All right, good morning, everybody. It's a great ceremony, only nobody told me that Sergeant Major was leaving.
We sent you a memo, sir.
Ohio gozaimasu. Good morning, everybody. Major General Luong and Mrs. Luong, Command Sergeant Major Beeson, thanks for coming today, and thanks for hosting the ceremony, sir. Major General Kakihara and Warrant Officer Kurogi, Major General Miyamoto and Warrant Officer Ono, thank you for coming today. Your presence honors us today at this ceremony. Thanks to Brigadier General Holler, who's watching virtually, for your leadership and confidence. Thanks for those kind words at the 38th Brigade St. Barbara's Day Ball last week. I really appreciate that and look forward to serving with you and the team at the 94th for the next 2 years. Only have a few short remarks, mostly thank yous, trying to adhere to the 5-3-1. But first, I want to thank God for continuing to bless my family and me with the opportunities that I have. Next, I would like to thank my family, and I gotta blow through it quick, or I may start sweating over here, kind of close to my eyeballs. But I want to thank my wife Bree, my #1 battle buddy, for always supporting me. True sacrifice. Former Army nurse, has a couple combat deployments herself, so she knows the sacrifice, and now has done a fantastic job with our daughters. Thanks to my oldest daughter, Kayla, who is at home in Connecticut now. And she obviously couldn't be here today, but I wanted to say a quick thank you and I love you to her, as well as my 3 daughters that are here, Abigail, Jane, and Natalie. Thank you for being the best girls a dad could ever hope for, and for growing into wonderful young ladies. Sergeant Major, Paula, congratulations on your time here. Look forward to continuing to work with you guys up at the 94th. And as Pat mentioned earlier, no better choice to be Sea Dragon 7. And I'll be looking forward to continuing working with you. Pat, Rachel, kids, thank you for everything over the last couple of weeks. Now, it was a tough couple of weeks for us, but the reality is you guys did about 90% of the work, and we just sat in the house. From shopping for us, to mowing the lawn, to basically buying my car. I appreciate everything, and I know Bree does as well, including those hugs that I got from Mila. As everyone knows, Pat poured his heart and soul into the brigade, its soldiers, and its family members. When I was walking through the brigade over the last couple of days, it was evident that his leadership and his presence in there was loved by his soldiers. So thanks, Pat. Good luck in D.C. and safe travels on your way back over there. Finally, we'd like to thank the soldiers and families of 38th ADA Brigade, soldiers from KCS, Shariki, the Snake Eyes Battalion, Echo 3, and Guam National Guard. Thank you for your continued sacrifices and selfless service. My family is ready to join the team, and we are looking forward to serving alongside all of you. And thank you again. Everybody have a good morning, have a good weekend. By valor and power, first line of defense, Ichidan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us for the singing of the ADA March and the Army Song.
Sir, this concludes the ceremony.
Congratulations, great job.
Ichidan.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Ichidan, one team, by valor and power, Army strong.